UI components that you write once and can use across multiple platforms is a very interesting topic. What are the benefits from the customer point of view? Is the technology ready? And how does it affect project management? I'll try to answer these questions in my short talk. My name is Michal. I work in KIWI.com in Prague, Czech Republic. And in KIWI.com, we want to make the travel better. So how do we want to make it better? We want to make it better by delivering useful features for our customers on all the platforms they use. So they can search, book, and manage their bookings in a browser, on iPhone, and on Android, and all the tablets around. So that means we are having free platforms. We also have free front-end teams. And that, unfortunately, means we also have sort of free isolated islands in the meaning of knowledge sharing and product management and these things. We were aware of these issues when we had a chance to start our new project called Margarita. And we tried to fix it with new technologies and new approaches. So Margarita is basically a showcase application, how to integrate travel features in your product, or even how to build your own KIWI.com if you want to. It gave us the chance to try these technologies, and we decided to make it open source since the first commit, because we believe in source code as a great way how to share the knowledge, how to learn stuff. So you can see all the source of this project on a GitHub. And basically, the architecture overview looks like this. So our backend team provided API called Tequila. And if you take Tequila and you add a few more ingredients, you get Margarita. So these ingredients, from our point of view, was a GraphQL and was React Native and React Native Web. So the Tequila is REST API that gives you all the things you doesn't have to take care about. So it's the whole backend, all the payments, all the customer support. And you can enjoy the GraphQL, the multi-platform UI components. Then is the phase 2, and then comes the profit. So how did we actually implement the multi-platform UI? Basically, from the big picture, we just used 2 libraries. We used React Native first approach. So we wrote all the components as a React Native. And then we used React Native Web to render these components in a browser if we wanted, or when we need it. From you as a developer, you could see this as like finished job. You are able to render a React Native component in the browser, and that's it. But the UX designers have much more wider requirements because they want to deliver the best user experience for the customers. So we needed to find solution how to little bit tweak each component on every platform where it made sense. So the first thing we did was we were able to change the UI representation of the component based on the platform. That's something React Native provides you, so you get the platform function, and you get the info about the operating system. So you can change, for example, size of the carrier logo. But there were also requirements to change the styles. We were using a standard style sheet from React Native, and we extended the functionality a little bit, so we were able to define, for example, the color of the text per operating system. This is pretty handy because it also gives you the possibility to have a static type checking when you are using these objects. And it keeps all the styles definition in the same file where the component is. And when we really needed to change the UI totally per platform, we came up with file name extensions. So for example, this itinerary card looks on a native device this way, and we name it itinerary card.native.js. Then we created itinerary card.web.js, and you can see the difference. So you can just see. Of course, these, for example, the carrier logo is still the same component I showed
2 slides ago. But the whole layout is totally different, and the file naming helps us to organize these things. Then, of course, during the build, the Webpack basically picks up the right file per the target platform we are building for. With all these tweaks, let's have a demo how the Margarita looks like. Yeah, so in a browser, we have responsive UI. We have the simpler search form and the search results. And the same functionality from the same source is also available in Android as a native application. So you can do all the stuff you expect from customer point of view. And also, it's available in the iPhone. And basically, the goal of this demo is to show and prove that the technology is ready. It's nothing like just hello world. It's full application that contains many different UI components. It's also handling the navigation, bundling, and everything. So we are now pretty confident that the technology is ready. From the project point of view, the biggest benefits are the sharing the UI also means sharing the know-how. We can deliver faster and in sync on all the platforms with a smaller amount of smaller teams. During the work on Margarita, we basically took components we needed from our design system called Orbit, and we rewrote them in a React Native way. That means now when we are confident the technology is ready, we are working on extracting all the components from the Margarita project to put them in a standard NPM package to improve the developer experience for anyone who would be interested to use multi-platform components. So take a look on these URLs and take a look on the GitHub, run it, and feel free to create an issue if something is unclear or broken. We will be happy to provide the feedback. And as I have some more time left, I would like to share some more info about other open source we have on GitHub. So when you will be checking the source code of Margarita, you will notice that the data are being fetched through GraphQL. And we are using Relay as a front-end framework for GraphQL. A lot of people is using probably Apollo. Is anyone here using Apollo? And somebody is using Relay. We can change that. Yeah, Apollo is probably easier to onboard, but we believe the Relay is better for a bigger application, and it's good to learn it, so you can start using it since beginning. Otherwise, the migration from Apollo to Relay after some time is not that easy. So we created this example project, and it looks like this. It's built on a Next.js, and it's using our public GraphQL backend. And it tries to show through the code how to do basic stuff with Relay and GraphQL. So we are focusing on GraphQL fragments, pagination, simple fetching, or bidirectional pagination. Part of the README are also links to our talks we had on our internal workshop. So you can watch these videos, work with the example project, and that could help you understand all the basics. When you are going to check this example project, you probably will notice there is also a handy fetch library being used, because we were missing some handy features in standard fetch libraries, so we implemented them, and the usage is pretty simple. Here, you probably immediately understand that we can call this example API, and we don't want to wait more than 15 seconds. And if the backend crash,
we can retry in 1 second and 3 seconds later. Maybe the backend will change their mind. Also, we prepared some handy types for handling the standard errors, so your UI can react better on these standard events. So when you are going to check our open source projects, you probably notice that we keep them in consistent shape with our ESLINT config. So our ESLINT config basically follows the tech stack we are using. So it has a lot of rules for React, React Native, Prettier, Flow, and also Node. Using it is also very trivial. And it comes with one great bonus, which is ESLINT runner. Because on a big project with a lot of rules, you can notice that the ESLINT takes a lot of time until it's finished. So we built our own runner on top of Jest runner. So we can run the test in parallel, and we can also execute only files that were changed. So it looks like this. You can see it's running in parallel, and only like small fraction of a few hundred tests are being executed. And it's no surprise we also published our BABEL preset. So everyone can write modern JS on a stack that we are using. So it supports flow, relay, fragments overfetching for is being checked. And there is a lot of syntactic sugar like optional chaining. So the point of these extra slides were basically take a look on our GitHub. There is a lot of cool stuff. And when you are going to be on the GitHub, please share your love. Feel free to give stars to projects you liked, open the issues, or even create a pull request if you spot something that could be improved. It's a very nice feeling for the people working on these projects to have some feedback from the users. And there is also one more thing for the last minute I have. So we did it last year, and we are repeating it also this year. At the end of July, we are having a summer camp in Barcelona, where we are going to have 1 week of education boot camp, and we will provide 1,000 euros flight voucher for later traveling. We provide accommodation, parties, and tons of knowledge. You can learn something from the guys who worked on the things I just presented. And all you need is to go to this URL, register, and pass the test we will send in following weeks. We have a stand, KIWI.com stand there. So if you have some more questions about summer camp or the stuff I presented, I'll be around and happy to answer. Thank you very much.